What's up, guys? It's Acro Brandon. I'm just putting in a little preface video before you watch my Kydex Forming video. Just finished editing it. I'm going to include a few pictures here right now of how I made the buck out of cardboard, how I secured it to the deck, mostly with tape. What I created in the video is basically a full-on play-by-play of what I went through in the forming process. So it's not a condensed version of all the great moments and how it came together, but really the things that you might run into forming Kydex on the first time, especially if you're like me. You don't have a workshop, you don't have a ton of tools. I didn't have wood accessible to me. I don't have saws, so I had to make do with what I had. Now I have another video that's coming out. I've been at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. I have access to a ton of tools because my dad has everything. I built a wood buck. I'm about to do a 2.0 version, make it a little bit of a different shape than I did before, but watch this. You should learn some things that you might want to do with Kydex, or maybe you don't want to do. I don't really know. That's up to you to figure out, but there will be a second video, and I'm hoping that I got smarter after doing the first attempt at forming Kydex. And actually, as I was editing this video, I learned some things that I already forgot about, so it was really good to watch. Alright guys, what's up? It's Acro Brandon. Today we're going to do some magic. So I got a new deck, I'm building a new board. We're going to try thermo forming some Kydex. Okay, so I've got the board mocked up. I've got a buck that I made out of cardboard. They said don't use cardboard, so I used it. It does compress a little bit, so I did compress it down before I wrapped it. So we're going to throw the Kydex in the oven for a few minutes, and then I'm going to try and form it on top of this. And the tolerance is going to be really tight because I have just a little bit of leeway from lengthwise because it's an 18-inch sheet, and this is just about 18 inches. So we have to lay it down perfect, press it on, let it cool, and hopefully it comes out looking good. So let's give it a try. Okay, so here we go. See, it only takes a few minutes for it to soften up. So I'm going to put it in here, let it get soft, put on some gloves, mold it around this thing, and hopefully it doesn't end up looking like shit. This is 325 degrees. They say it's somewhere between 300 and 400. We'll start low and see what happens. All right, let me put some gloves on. It's starting to get soft. It's really cool because I've never played with anything like this. So it's like kind of feeling like rubbery now, where right before it felt like a hard plastic. It's starting to feel like a thick polyurethane or something like that. So we're about 4 minutes in. I have it on a big piece of cardboard in there because I don't have a baking sheet that's 18 by 18. But I'm just kind of checking it slowly. It's starting to settle down a little bit. It's like rubber mat. I want to give it just like 1 more minute because I want the middle to be nice and soft too. So I think we're super close. And if I have to put it back in there, I guess I can put it back in there. But once I start forming it, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. Okay, let's make some magic happen. Go time, baby. And then you take it out of the oven. Okay, so we're halfway there. We got part of it. I'm wondering if I can throw it back in, let it get a little bit softer, and then shape the other sides here. I feel like I didn't really need to mount the buck to the board. I think that was a good start, but I think now that I've got the initial shape, I'm going to cut the buck free of the board. I'm going to put it onto the piece of cardboard. I'm going to put the Kydex over that, and then we're going to start shaping the rest of it around it. Okay, so round 2, right? I cut the buck free. I have my little spacers here. Put the buck inside of the Kydex. Put the Kydex back on top of the cardboard sheet that I had. That'll soften it back up. I'll shove it back down, make it a little bit stronger, and that should work. And actually, I might even use this sheet pan. This. So that I have something a little more rigid to push into, kind of like how the board is. Maybe put this on top here. Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. All right. And back in we go. All right. The plastic is starting to melt again. It's starting to settle over the buck a little bit nicer. And then we'll try another round of forming it. Here we go, round 2. The Kydex is relaxed almost back to its original shape, so I'm going to repress the top of it with a little parchment paper and a sheet pan. Once it starts to cool a little bit, I'm going to take this baking pan right here, which I thought about using for the batteries, but it's just a hair too big, but actually fits over the buck, so I might use that to shape the different sides right there. So, here we go. Wrinkles here, I can't get out. There we go. I know you don't want to stare at my ass while I'm doing this. Oh yeah. It's getting better. Starting to harden up real quick though. And if we're lucky, maybe I'll have a really nice floral print pattern into the Kydex. That'd be funny because this pan has a print in it. Look at that. That's like really good. I mean, there's like a wrinkle here and a couple of wrinkles over here, which are kind of fucked up. But so far, it's looking substantially better. So I think one more time with this pan on to kind of hold everything down, and we're just going to manipulate the sides here, yeah, because I don't have a heat gun. And so far this is looking pretty good though. I'm actually happy with the way this is coming out, especially for my first time. So back inside the oven. Let's see if I can't work out this wrinkle right here and over here, and I think we're almost done. Round 3. Let's see. Push it back down. Get it around the sides. Oh yeah. There we go. Get it where it's hot. Oh, yeah. Use my limited amount of weight. Push it all down. And all the way down. Pull it out. So lastly, I can live with a little pinch in the corner here. A little pinch right here too. I guess there's a pinch in every corner at some point, right? I'm gonna do one last round in the oven. See if I can smooth out these parts just a little bit more. Pull them flat, get them a little bit flatter for mounting, and then we'll come back for some fine tuning with the hair dryer. But I'm okay with a couple little pinches around each corner. I mean, this thing looks awesome as is. Okay, so last round in the oven. I'm gonna throw it back on the board this time so I can kind of shape the concave curve, and then I'll probably go get a heat gun from Home Depot so I can fine tune everything and get it all to lay flat. All right.